how many mills do you manufacture every year?
So with the mills, the blenders and the flakers all together, we are between 20 to 25,000 pieces a year.
Oh, and they are shipped worldwide?
Yes, worldwide. So majority of the products here is sold here in Europe, like 15,000 pieces, but the rest goes all over the world.
Marcel Koidl is the owner of Komo Mills,
A company with over 30 years dedicated to the manufacturing of meals for artisan bakers.
In this conversation, you will learn about all the benefits of milling your own flour at home to enhance your baking skills.
Additionally, we will explore more about his business and, as always, have a great time.
Welcome to a new edition of the Gluten podcast, featuring Marcel Koidl.
So, Marcel, can you tell us where we are right now?
We're in the wonderful place of Itter in Tyrol in Austria.
Not Australia.
Not Australia. I've never seen a kangaroo here, but maybe. Oh, really? I see it now.
I tell you. So, willkommen bei Komo.
Ja, danke schön.
So, can you tell us about Komo? What do you do here?
What are the things behind me?
The things behind you are our wonderful grain mills. We are producing them here, and we also have flakers and a blender, and everything is built here in Austria, handmade and by us.
Okay.
This is a famous stone mill, right?
Yeah, for grinding your own flour, for making it fresh, and the heart of such a mill are the stones, of course, and there are two different types of processing. One thing is the mills, which are grinding between stones, and then you have the flakers, which are squeezing.
Other type of grains.
Yes.
But tell our audience what's the main difference between a stone mill, because everybody talks about the stone mill.
Yeah.
Wow, you have a stone mill, blah blah, or a regular metal or whatever accessory that you may have maybe in a standard mixer.
Yeah, with the mixers and also with the blenders, they are doing a very good marketing. They're telling you can grind your own flour, but when it comes to the details, that's not really grinding, you know, that's more like chopping in small pieces at a very high revolutions per minute, so like 14,000 revolutions per minute, and this makes the so-called flour then very warm.
That's
As
not
you're
good.
cutting them, these are only small pieces with really sharp edges, so nothing compared to stone grinded flour, because they are rubbing against each other, but very slow with like 1,000 revolutions per minute, so it gets not too hot. So that's the main difference.
Okay, can we do a demonstration of how you grind? For example, what do you have here?
We have rye, we have wheat here.
Okay.
You can
try it.
grind any kind of grains here, or
Any kind of grains, you even can do chickpeas. You can also mix it before with your herbs, like pepper or salt, and do one run, and then you have all mixed it up and fresh.
but for example, can you grind sunflower seeds?
Sunflower seeds are a bit too oily, so in general you can say you can grind everything that's dry enough
Dry.
and not too oily.
Because if it's too oily, maybe you end up with a dough, not with flour,
Yeah,
right?
you're practically smurring down the stones. But don't be afraid of trying it, because there are so many seeds, and we cannot tell at the first try if it is possible or not. So there's a good thing to test it out. Just take one handful and try it. You know, the worst thing that can happen is that it is not coming out again.
Okay.
And then you can just use rice, and the mill will clean itself.
Oh,
So no damage, no worries.
Which grain did you use to bake this bread?
This one is mostly rye bread, 50% rye bread, and the rest is the mix between spelt and wheat.
Okay, so
But 50% is rye.
okay, let's try with the rye.
Yes,
Okay.
let's go with the rye.
So I have to prepare it a
This
bit.
is from your own garden, right?
Of course.
Ah,
How else should it be?
yeah.
I just take one handful
Yes.
and we try it out. We ride
I like
out.
this model. Is it
Yeah,
new?
it is really good. I like the wording, you know, and the logo is also a nice design.
Oh,
Must be
yeah.
a genius.
Hey. Wow. makes
see?
perfect.
You have a very
Fresh flour.
good amount of flour in a very short time. And the thing is, you can just make as much as you want and fresh.
In the moment.
So there's no waste.
This is like a coffee grinder, but for seeds. Yeah, for bakers. mostly.
Yeah, it is more advanced coffee grinder because the
Yeah.
coffee grinder does use the metal mechanism.
No, but I think the idea that
Oh,
you,
yeah, yeah,
that you
yeah,
mill
yeah.
your grains in the moment just to make your
Yeah.
coffee. Here you grain your grains just to bake a bread.
Yeah, and that's the thing we are always telling people because it is common on the world that you grind your coffee fresh. Because everybody is telling you, oh, I'm grinding it fresh, I'm not using pre-packed coffee or something.
Okay.
But with the wheat, nobody is thinking of that.
A flour. Yes.
With the flour.
And you can
nobody is
also
thinking of that.
the
adjust,
yeah.
adjust the how gross you want it, how thick you want it or not.
Yes, you can adjust it from very fine to very coarse, and you're not limited. You can just turn it one way around, and it will just crack it one time. So, for sunflower seeds, you can also use that setting on coarse. You just break it and then doing it as a decoration on the bread.
Or for instance, maybe if you work with semola or semolina,
Yeah.
sometimes it's a little bit coarse, and then if you want to grind it again and get this like the Italian semola rimacinata, which is twice grinded, then you can re-grind it here too.
Yes, you can do that.
The size is ideal for a kitchen, right?
Yes, for most household kitchens, and I think it's also not an appliance you have to hide when guest comes because
yeah.
it is, in my opinion, very very beautiful.
And are the mills easy to clean? How do you work with that?
Oh yeah, mostly it's the rice again. So when you want to clean it, you just put a handful of rice, set it on course, and give it one run. That's enough. And if you want to do a deep clean, you can disassemble it without needing any tools or anything. You just turn off the hopper, and then you're free to go to the stones. You can brush them and vacuum them as you want.
So these are the stones.
These are the stones.
These are the heart of the mill.
Yeah,
This is the heart of the
and
mill.
this is a very long way of development we did.
There are two stones.
Yeah.
Actually, right?
Can you tell more about this?
Yeah, so basically it works like this stone is the so-called rotating stone, and this is the stationary stone. And the stones have a distance in between, and you just set it with the hopper, and when the distance is very, very less, it gets fine.
close.
Otherwise, it's coarse.
Okay.
So it is a very simple technique, but you have to develop the mixture of the stones because this is ceramic and corundum. So these are two different materials. Why did we do that? Because
This is not just a stone from the mountains.
no.
It's especially developed for the mill.
There are mills with stones just from the mountains, and they are sharpening in something, but they are not hard enough. They wear out after a time, and you have to resharpen that. And we wanted to create stones that get not too hot, and that stones who are self-sharpening. And they are self-sharpening because when you go into details, ceramic and corundum, and one wears out a bit more than the other. So there is always a sharp edge between, and that's why they are self-sharpening. It is, and they are lasting like, we're giving 12 years guarantee. We
Almost
guarantee-
my age.
Okay, twice almost.
Okay, Joyce.
So we guarantee that this thing is working 12 years, and it is going on 20 years. And the stones are not wearing out, so it is not the best business model, maybe, but
And
for
I've
us it
heard that
works.
the service is free of charge.
Yes,
it right?
it is. Yes, it is.
How do you work with that, with the service?
Yeah, I always tell my customers and everybody around, we are a manufacturer. We produce very good grain mills, flakers, blenders, everything. We're not gaining money with our repair shop. In fact, our repairsman is here part-time from Monday to Wednesday and
It's
only
mostly
until
empty.
midday. Yeah,
Empty
it's
of
mostly
repair.
empty. And we are doing the repairs from all over the world here.
For example, which was the oldest mill that you have done a service?
We've done a service on a mill that's now, I think, 22 years old.
22 years old.
Was an old lady, and she just sent it in and asked us, can you do a service? And we asked her, yeah, what is wrong with your mill? Why do you send it in? And she said, just to be sure, because I have it now for 22 years, and please just check it. And we did that. And normally this comes up to 80 years or something. And we are always showing a goodwill and giving it back for free. So even after 22 years, she got it back for free, service, maintenance, and everything was fine, because we don't have the urge to gain money with the repairs.
Yeah, I understand. And do you remember when this mill was built?
In 1992 was it built.
And how old were you?
About 4 years.
4 years. So, because I understand that this company was built by your father.
Yes.
That's your age, almost.
Almost my age, yeah. 35 years ago, my father started the company. And the fun fact is, when he began to build the mills, because he was doing it by himself, obviously, and he had no room, so he used my kids' room. I had to move out during the day with my mother in the office.
But you were a baby.
Yeah, but I wasn't asked, you know. It just took me in the office. My mother did the paperwork. My father was building the mills, and the next day he was throwing the mills in his car, and he was going from door to door as a door-to-door salesman. And there was no internet. We couldn't afford any TV advertisement, so that was the way. And he was. You know, it was a very hard time, as he told me, because he was knocking on the door. Yeah, with grain mills. What is this? Because nobody did know back then. So that's how it started.
And it was electric, because the first ones maybe were hand.
Oh, they were electric. Yeah.
So this is, and now you're the boss.
Now, since 10 years, I'm the boss. I was always the boss, but now I'm in charge.
Now you're the boss.
Yes.
And your father plays golf.
Yeah, he plays golf a lot, but we are both the bosses, but I'm doing the daily business, and he comes around here like 2 or 3 days a week. And when he is not showing up like 3 or 4 days, I'm the one who calls him, hey, let's have a coffee, come to the company, and we chat about him, because it's an unpayable experience for me.
Yeah. And how do you design these kind of models? For example, this one is a Komo Mills, right?
Yes, this is the Komo Mills. This is one of our very last designs. Last developed, not the last design ever. We are still on it. And back in the days, my father used to design them on the paper with his hands, and then he was thinking about it, got to the wood shop, and he was sharpening it out of wood and trying and testing and everything. So that was the way back then.
Hard work,
but he knew how to do it. And now in my generation, I'm a bit more advanced, technological. I have the software and everything, so when I have something in mind, I go to my computer, I design it in the software, and then I even print it out on the 3D printers, and then I make working prototypes, and then I pack them up, go to our best customers, show them, and even on the end customers. We're doing a lot of social media here where we say, we have something new in development, do you want to try it? And people are writing us, and then they're saying, I don't like this, I like this more, and then that's the way how we develop the things.
So. Feedbacks from your customers.
And do you have, talking about customers, do you have some famous customers?
I don't know if the famous in
I'm not talking about Arnold, which I know is your
maybe he has 2, for the training.
On the stones. These are heavy, eh? These are heavy.
About 8 kilograms.
Which is
not
the
for
heavy
Arnold.
one for Arnold? Which one?
The jumbo maybe. We have the jumbo, which is about 40 kilograms.
40 kilograms.
For small bakeries.
For
you should send one to him. That's a good advertisement. With
But of course, we have a few famous customers, but I'm the most known ones I'm not allowed to tell, and the other ones I'm afraid you don't know, like people from the Olympic teams or even football, soccer players.
And speaking about product designing and development, we know that you have an experience with a product that came from overseas. Can you tell us a little bit more about that experience?
Yeah, as we had grown a bit in our company and the grain mills became more famous and famous, it was very interesting to see that the way it changes, because normally you are searching for suppliers of parts and you're requesting them, and as you get more and more well known, it seems that suppliers are coming to you and offering you something. And we even got one exact copy of our mill from China, from a Chinese supplier. And at first I opened the package from China and I thought, okay, I asked my employees.
So it was a customer from China.
Just a customer, did he resend it? And then I got the sheet and everything, and it says, yeah, here is your mill. We built it, and it was built 1-to-1. I mean, when you go to the details, like the stones and so, they were just dummies, but they did a really good job, and they offered us a price with this package, and the price was half the price we can produce it here.
Oh, look at that.
But yeah, we did not agree to that. We said, okay, thank you very much, but we are not interested in such things, because the philosophy of my father was it since the beginning that we are searching for our suppliers near here. So as an example, the wood is from the Bavarian forest, from the Austrian forest, and these parts are made in Germany. So there is always a cheaper one, you know, but we want to keep the money here, and we want to have the workers here, and the spirit.
The original spirit from your father.
Yeah, that's how the company came up. So we don't want to break with that one, because I think that's just bad karma. Yeah.
No, and when you talk about Germany or Austria, you know that you're talking about good quality things.
Yes, and
that's
you know what the thing
long-lasting
is?
things.
Yeah, long-lasting and long experience, and we are using the parts since more than 35 years now. And the thing is also, if there is an issue and they call me from the supplier, I'm going in my car, and the farthest way I have is like 8 or 10 hours drive. So that's okay for me. I can do that, and I will do that.
Yeah. And which is the best seller nowadays from Komo?
The best seller on the grain mills is the Fidibus Classic, which is back in there. Also the Fidibus 21, and more the Komo Mio, because it has a very unique design.
And the logo.
And the logo.
The logo works.
The logo.
And 6 different colors. That's also nice to choose. You know, that fits in every kitchen. And so that's becoming a bestseller too, I think.
And which is the color that you sell the most?
White.
White?
Yeah. White followed by black and then red.
And red?
Yeah,
Oh,
really.
yeah.
But with a majority of sales, we have the white ones. So like 85 to 90% are white ones. So people want to have the choice, but they choose the normal ones.
And have you been working with another material apart from wood?
Yes. So the first material we experienced is this material, because that's called Arbo blend.
Yeah.
That's
not plastic.
That's not plastic, and that's very important. That's what I was going to say, because that's some waste of the paper industry.
Yeah.
And this is not only recycled, it's also compostable. So you can throw it away, and after 30 years or something, it is just going to be earth. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's very difficult, because it looks like plastic, but it is not plastic, and it is very difficult to work with. So we had to do a lot of development there, but we figured it out.
Okay.
And then the second material we are getting onto is cork.
Cork from wine bottles.
Yeah,
Yes.
we have to drink a lot of wine bottles. So that's my job basically. And then we mix up the corks.
Yeah.
No,
Hard
but,
job.
It's a hard job, yeah. It will cost me a few years of my life. But
That's the new material.
That's the new material. We started with our own blender with the Komo Mix, and the handle we made out of cork to just begin with the experience. And we made a few things and figured out how to work with this material. And then we created a new model of the Komo Mio, which is called Komo Mio Eco. And this is not made out of wood, this is cork now. And we are always looking for, as I said, suppliers around us, and also for renewable materials, sustainable materials, and wood is very good for that. But what is even a bit better is cork, you know, because you don't have to cut down a tree to get the corks from it, and you can do that once a year. So this is maybe a good material for the future. We're thinking of a few devices.
And then you have the wine side of the story.
Yeah,
which
the
is
wine side
interesting
is also good.
And which is the oldest mill that you have here?
The oldest mill is also from 1992, I think. Yeah, we have it somewhere around here. It is. Yeah, I can get this one.
Okay, get it.
Let's see it.
This is one of the oldest mills you have
We have here. Yeah.
here.
This was made in your room.
Are you lost with all the sourdough bread recipes that you find on the internet? Would you like to learn all the tips and tricks to make your own sourdough bread at home? Then I have the solution. I have designed the perfect masterclass of sourdough bread just made for you. By clicking the link on the description, you will learn how to make and take care of your sourdough starter, how to knead, shape, ferment, and bake your sourdough bread, how to use and read the baker's percentage, all the basic techniques to bake like a pro at home, and how to read and understand your dough. Don't miss out on it and click the link on the description right now.
This was one that was made in my room, and it is also, it says on the bottom, handwritten 158. So that's why I know it's made from my father, because there was no printer. He couldn't afford a printer for that
no
35 years ago. Yeah, so he wrote it down. Yeah,
Excellent. And it's working.
it should.
It should. Oh, let's try it.
Let's try it. You plug it in.
Okay.
I try it out. So here we also have the coarse and the fine setting.
Yeah, it's the same system.
It is, no, it is not. We can compare it if you want, because
Okay.
it is not really the same system. When I disassemble it, you can see it is more complicated. You know, it was the first steps, so you have to do it by then, and you are limited. This and this, there is no
okay.
way. And if you want to clean it, you have to unscrew that, disassemble that. So it's a bit more but that was the beginning. It was good, and I think it should still work.
Wow, we'll see it live.
So I set it to fine. Okay, this should work. Let me.
Fine is on the other side.
Fine is on the other side. So let me just.
Still working.
Still working. Not as fast, not as quiet, but it is working.
it's
I mean,
working.
this thing is 34 years old. So
And if we compare this one to
Yeah.
that one, what happens?
I will just
Yeah,
put it
yeah,
back
yeah,
to
yeah.
have a bit of space here. So I have to empty this one before.
Okay.
Finally.
Yeah, excellent.
Okay. If you open this one now, as I said, without tools,
Yes, it's easy now.
you're in the stones.
Yes.
So no unscrewing, nothing
Cleaning.
limited. So cleaning is very easy. So that was a huge step.
Yes, and this is like floating.
Yeah. That's also a huge difference.
And this is how you trim this to adjust the
the fineness, the
fine-
thickness of
yes,
the
the
of the
thickness.
flour.
And does it have a patent?
This has a few patents on the technique and on the design also, like all our other models, because the floating thing you see is not only because it looks cool, but it's also because if you imagine you have grains in the hopper and they're running through. The stones are not touching each other. That's okay. But as soon as there are no grains in the hopper, it will just normally it will fall down and then it will make a awful sound, you know? So they are quiet. They are just going up again and it is quiet.
Okay.
Interesting.
And you can break the
stones.
stones if you have them so
If you crush
close.
them.
Yeah.
If you do it a long time, yeah,
Yeah.
it is just not good. You cannot break it. I always, I mean, it's not a good business model, but they are unbreakable nearly.
Really.
And why, Ramon, maybe he has an answer, but Which are the benefits of grinding wheat?
Well,
Yeah.
first of all, I think that you know where you buy the grains and where do they come from, because when you buy just flour at the supermarket, you have no idea from where does it come. It happens to me that I have many friends that they have fields. They're not farmers, but they grow grains like wheat or like rye. So they bring to me, and then I made it and make super artisan flour and bread in seconds, but not in seconds, in hours.
Yeah.
But really, really fresh.
Which kind of breads can you make with this kind of flour?
Any kind of bread. The thing is that when you mill with this kind of mill, you always get whole wheat or whole grain flour, not just white flour, the one that you buy in the supermarket. You could do that, but then you need a few sifters, right?
Sift it out, yeah.
You need to sift it a lot of time, but maybe that's an accessory soon.
No, I mean that's a good point you have, because how cool is that? You have a friend, he's growing grains,
And
and
then-
you exactly know where they come from, and then you eat it.
Yes, you
Perfect.
100%.
Yeah,
You have
100%.
an 100% extraction. That's the thing. You use the whole grain, not just a part of a grain.
Yeah.
When you buy bread flour, regular bread flour in the supermarket, you get the whole grain in your bread.
Yeah.
For bread, also for pizza, right?
Bread, pizza, well, any kind of dough, pizza, donuts, whatever you want to do. Yes.
And have you seen an increase in customers from the lockdown, where the people start baking bread in their homes and
Yeah. Because I guess, or mostly it was like, everybody wanted to do something at home. Yeah, I think you also recognized it, that a few people started to baking bread and making cakes and everything, and that's a good movement. And when you're doing something, you're always looking for something to do even better. The perfect is the enemy of the good. Yeah. So when they were baking their bread, they were researching for, okay, my bread is good, but how can I do it even better? And then they came to the grain mills, and that's where we
Hello.
stepped in.
Hello.
Yeah.
the same happened to you in the lockdown. Like,
Yes.
a lot of people started.
A lot of people started following me. It was like a increasing amount of followers per day. It was huge. And the thing, well, you know, the people started baking because they had time. That's one of the main ingredients of baking. Just it's grains,
And
water,
time,
salt, and time.
Yeah.
So they had a lot of time.
What was the strangest thing that you received in the lockdown?
No, there was a Mexican guy who told me, who started making sourdough starter, and he said, Ramon, I have like 10 kilos sourdough starter. What do I do now? Just bake, use it. I said,
Which was the strangest thing that you received with a meal or something?
Oh, let me think about it. One strange thing that comes in my mind is a lady who cleaned her mill in the shower,
in the shower.
and she was not asking, she was complaining, because how stupid can you be to make a device that does not last the shower? It's obviously you have to clean it, and she wanted to clean it in the shower because it is such a big device.
I do
it
the
doesn't
same.
fit in the dishwasher, so
What about the motor, you know? What?
everything was damaged,
Choose.
and she complained that this is our fault because we did not write on don't wash it in the shower or
But
something.
12 years warranty, you know?
Yeah,
It should be waterproof,
yeah.
showerproof.
Shower-proof, yeah. Yeah, so that was one of the strangest complaints we had. Yeah.
Yes,
Oh.
yes. So we receive a lot of strange things via media because, you know, like more than 1 million of followers, it's like
Yeah, that's crazy,
you
yeah.
receive every kind of thing.
Yeah.
And Marcel, how many meals do you manufacture every year?
So with the mills, the blenders, and the flakers all together, we are between 20 to 25,000 pieces a year.
Oh, and they are shipped worldwide.
Yes, worldwide. So majority of the products here is sold here in Europe, like 10, 15,000 pieces, but the rest goes all over the world.
Which is the country that buys you the most?
I would say Europe, so more like in the middle of Europe, so Germany and so on. but this goes with the US.
US too.
And also Canada is rising. It always depends on how your partners there are. But
Don't
we
forget
have-
Australia.
Oh, Australia, yeah.
There's a huge
It is also a market
baking
for us.
community
It is
in
also
Australia.
growing, yes.
Yes.
But it's so far away.
How
Yes.
to traveling with Mills? How do you do?
Oh, really good. They're good
Good.
partners. They're quiet. They don't
No, I
complain.
know, but they're heavy. No, I know, but they're heavy because I've traveled with many of your meals.
Yeah.
And it's not easy to travel with this.
No, but mostly I have it in my luggage, which rolls on the floor. And so
It's prepared. It's like a musician, but it's a millerician.
yeah, no luggage for
Luggage.
It's going to be a good accessory, that too. Meal
Yeah.
baggage. Yeah.
Yes, I could use it.
You open it.
I travel with my
the foam
sourdough,
inside.
so I can travel with my
Yeah,
meal
sure.
too.
No, but you have a meal and then a flocker,
Yes.
and they are both in the same device.
Oh yeah, that's also a good story about our customers, because we are always asking, what can we do for you?
Yeah.
And so my father started with this one mill, and then people were asking, can you make a bigger mill? Not cheaper or something, just a bit bigger, that it runs faster. Okay, then he's done that. People were satisfied. And then he asked, okay, what else? Yeah, I used to make my flour fresh, and I want to make my breakfast also fresh. So I'm using oats to make flakes and so on. Don't you have a flaker? He was thinking, he was working, he was doing prototypes. Then we had a flaker. Then people were asking, okay, now I have a mill here and I have a flaker there. Can you just put it in one housing for me, and both electrical?
Milkler.
Yeah, milkler. Or a flaner. In fact, we called it Duet, but it's also a good name. And he did it. He did it in one housing. Everyone was satisfied. And then holiday season was beginning. And then people were going to ask us, I have now this massive housing.
Can you separate them?
No, can you separate? Yeah, that's already there. But I said, I have this massive housing, and I don't want to take this with my camper in the holiday. And I don't need the mill in the holiday. I only need the flaker. Can you make something there?
Is this a joke?
No, this is no joke. This one is standing right behind there. It is the Fiddy flock, which has a Fiddy bus inside in the housing, and the flick flock, and you can take out the flick flock and go wherever you want.
It only works in summer.
It only works in the winter. It's
winter
locked.
now.
In the winter,
I think, do we have this
This is the flocker, manual flocker, but it needs to be here. I'll do it doesn't fall.
that's also one of the stories, one of the nice stories of our customers. Looking at this one, because the manual flakers have to stand somewhere.
Yes,
you know,
no,
of
have
course. You have to clamp them on the sides of your table.
And this one, no.
Yeah, this one also, but the clamps are over there, I think.
Yeah.
But it holds still.
And the thing, as long as you're not turning it.
Yes.
And the thing was, we made that, and then people were asking us, but can you not make something without clamps?
It's working.
And so we developed an electric
An electric
flaker,
one.
which you can stand
Here's a clamp.
anywhere.
It's working like this.
That's not a good representation of the flaker.
Like this. Wow.
What do you
gonna do? It's
No,
working.
you have to use this.
You have to
Yes.
use the clamps. It comes with the clamps.
Okay.
That would also be a good idea.
Separate.
The
They
flaker is about 10 euros and the clamps are 200.
Yeah.
Like the printers, you know?
The printers,
The tint.
There.
You have to clamp it down. So, I think one is enough.
Okay.
And now do it. You don't have to hold it. Now we're talking.
Look at that. Yeah.
Can you bring me some yogurt?
Some what?
Yogurt.
Some
Yogurt, yeah.
Oh, freshly flocked.
And freshly cracked with all the nutritions in it. And the advantages are the same as we
Say
told
goodbye
about
to
the grain.
Quaker.
Yeah.
Quaker.
No, you were telling the advantages?
Want some?
Are the same as with the other corns. You make it fresh, you know where it is, where it's
The same
from.
thing.
Yeah. And the thing is, there's nothing special happening between here. You put it in and this is where it goes out. No ultra heating, no removing some ingredients.
No additives.
Yeah.
Thank you.
They keep you healthy, you know?
And I also saw that you have a mixer.
Yes.
A blender.
Yeah, it's
A blender.
a blender.
Oh, a mixer, blender.
Yeah, a blender. Have you seen this guy who did these marketing videos, which was a Will It Blend?
Yeah. We've seen that. I think everybody has seen him. That was a really good marketing thing. Yeah. And already when we developed this blender, we tried a lot. I mean, we put in cans, we put in smartphones, everything.
Oh, really?
Oh. Yeah, because we wanted to go the same way as we did with the mills and the flakes. We just want to sell the item and never hear it again. Bye, customer, because we are not doing that sort of selling that they are coming back after 2 years with worn out things or something. So that's why we know them. Yeah.
And which products did you try blending? Like a smartphone?
Smartphones or even cans, you know, with
Trash
Coca-Cola,
cans,
Fanta.
yeah.
Yeah, everything. Yeah.
Oh, I want to see that.
Yeah,
Can we try that?
We can try that.
Yourself, can you lend me your cell phone?
Yeah,
We can,
but with your cell phone.
We can mill a stone.
Yeah. Oh, actually, we did a video 2 weeks ago with the mills.
Yes.
Because some people are a bit worried about will the stones last and so on. I'm telling them what I told you, but we decided to make a video, and we even grinded stones.
Yes.
And sand came out, and the mill is good. So it is very durable. Yeah.
That's interesting. Interesting.
And Ramon, can you tell us when was your first time that you got a mill?
I remember. It was no, I bought it, I think, in 2016 or 17. My first meal. When I started baking, not baking, I was already baking, but when I started being like Gluten Morgan, so I said, I need that. I don't know where I saw this. So I'm like, oh, I can make my own flour.
Yes, because I remember it was like your first.
Yes, one of the first gadgets that I bought. So I said, I need that meal. And I bought it, I don't know, I bought it online and I sent it to Buenos Aires, yes.
Okay.
See, I don't know, on Amazon. I don't know if it was Amazon or maybe it was Komo, I don't know.
And what was the reason? Because you just wanted to make it yourself.
Solutions.
Where can you find if someone wants to buy some of these meals in your webpage?
Yeah, I think the first step would be to go on our website because there are all the dealers all around the world listed. We are selling to 72 countries worldwide now. Yeah. And of course, we are in some organic shops, even in normal shops, electrical markets like Media Markt or somewhere. And on Amazon, there are a few dealers selling our mills. And of course, you can buy it direct on our website.
Okay. And are you planning making bigger, not just like the jumbo, I mean the ones that you use in bakeries, those ones?
Yeah.
Are you planning to do that in the future?
Yeah, I have a very clarified view for the future, and I want to do the bigger mills, even a lot bigger than the jumbo, not only for small bakeries. I want to do it for really big bakeries too, because we know the best how our parts work, and therefore we will create such things. Yeah.
Because many bakeries now are willing to buy this kind of mills, the big ones, I mean.
I think they are beginning to see the need for that because they can get better with that, and customers start to ask for that as it becomes more and more famous to make.
For example, I have a friend in Barcelona, Jordi Morera, who has one of not your bigger mills, but he has his mill, and the thing is that he buys the grains to local farmers around his bakery. So that's helping the economy of the city too.
That's something some people are doing in Africa. They do it with our small mills, with the household mills, and with a solar panel, so they can have the power. Yeah, and they are driving from farm to farm to grind their grains, and they have they can sell it for more the flour than the grains, and he's doing that from farmer to farmer.
Interesting. So there's a huge future for milling.
Yes, I hope
Good.
so. No, I'm sure.
No, of course. No, you're doing a great job.
Thank you. Yeah.
Look where we are now.
Yeah. Yes. So that's all. I don't know.
Thank you. You can leave now. And leave us
Okay,
with
thank you for visiting Australia.
No, I would love to have like drone footage in this situation because I want the people to understand where we are right now. You know.
Okay, yes. And the
so-
surroundings.
the
We've been making many videos in the surroundings. There's an old mill. This old mill, we've been recording a few videos and reels for our other social media channels.
Yeah.
So it's beautiful. And the mountains, everything.
Yeah, here it is like in a fairy tale. I mean, we are working here where others are
Yes.
on holiday.
You should check the view that they have here.
It looks unreal.
Unreal.
I'm always recognizing when I have a nice visit like you, then I'm looking also out of the window and thinking,
Yes,
can't
where
be
am
real.
I? I am in Disneyland.
yeah.
No, everything's really green and beautiful. So, well, Marcello, Marcel.
Oh, that's good.
You have some Italian vibes.
Oh, yeah. Grazie.
Now, well, thank you for receiving us and inviting us here to Komo facilities, Komo world.
And we invite you to Argentina whenever you
Yes.
want. You
Oh,
are
wow.
invited. Yeah.
Tell us when you're coming so we are not there.
Oh, yeah, that's good. That's good. That's something I missed when you come.
So, no, well, thank you, and I hope you have tempt other people to buy this meal because it's a game changer. It's a bread changer.
Yeah, bread changer. Well, Marcel, thank you for having us here.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
And
Hope
Okay.
to see you soon in Argentina.
Yes, you will.
yes,
Thank you. Ramon.
Marcello.